What's up guys, here with another video, and in this video I'll be talking about the Boston Celtics versus the Golden State Warrior, 2022 finals, and the Golden State Warrior won it in 6 games, right? Sorry this video's out, late, but this is supposed to be uploaded about a month ago. It's obviously because, my life's been very busy, I've been, slacking off and stuff like that. I've been lazy on YouTube, so... Well, I just got some ideas, just, upload video on YouTube, keep this, busy and all that stuff. But yeah, man, the Celtic actually beat... Let me give you a quick recap of what happened to the Celtic and the Heat in Game 7, because it was very, big, and the Celtic almost got choked again, and I thought they're going to win the final, but let me explain all in the video. So in Game 7, Jimmy Butler just missed a 3-point. I think the Celtics were up like 2 point, like 98 to 96, and Jimmy Butler just missed a 3. Well, imagine if the Heat were in the final, that would have been different. They may have a chance of being Golden State Warriors. I have to be honest about it, right? Maybe not. But I think the Heat and Celtic are pretty much equal, so I think the Heat are a little bit more experienced. But I don't know how the Heat is, but... Yeah, the Celtic was leading like 10 points, at the end of like the last 5 minutes, and then they almost the Heat went on 11-0 run, and they could have if Jimmy Butler made that 3-man, like he's very clutch, the Heat would have been in the final already. I would guarantee you that, right? I'm so happy for the Boston Celtic, They got their revenge on the Miami Heat. If you don't know what happened, 2 years ago, remember that he eliminated the Celtic in Game 6? Yeah, because I figured out the Celtics, are not patient. They've been very patient with the guy. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart. They got, lots of, and Al Horford. Like, these guys are just killers, man. But yeah, the Celtics, they have very, good side. They have very good defense. They play very well. They've been struggling out, throughout the season, but then when it comes to playoff, they shock everybody, right? Now, I kind of not surprised because we know the Celtics almost made the final in 2020, but yeah, so this is technically the Celtics' revenge, of what they did, of what the Heat did to them, 2 years ago. So they got their business done in Game 7. They barely made to the finals, and the Warriors technically swept the Mavericks, almost swept. So. Let's see. So let's go over, Game 1. So Game 1, the Celtics are showing you they're actually a better team. But then there was the biggest reason, why the Warrior won the championship. I can say that both teams are both healthy, but then, the Warriors are actually, winning the championship. And I'll explain you why. So Celtics are actually better than the Warrior. That's in my opinion. And why did the Warriors win championship? I mean, they're a bad team. I mean, whoever's better win the championship. But no, you have to use common sense, right? I will explain it. Celtics are not very disciplined, and they're just too young, So yeah, I think the Celtics too young and just immatured. They're just not mature enough, to win the championship. Just by looking at that roster, man. So, yeah, so around Game 1, Warriors should have won Game 1 already. They should have, because I say that the Warriors are always strong in the third quarter, right? The first 3 quarters they play strong, but then they get outscored by literally 27 points, 27 to 24 points, and the Boston won it by over the Golden State Warriors had a huge lead. They have double-digit lead going to the fourth quarter, and then Boston win by double. The Warriors, so they made the adjustment after Game 2, and they won Game 2, by 10 points. So yeah, letting fourth quarter, they have to play hard, every quarter, fourth quarter. There's 2, so yep, Game 2 they win by 10, and then Game 3, they win at the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics has not lost back-to-back games. I mean, this is the only reason why they're so formidable, right? Until they get to the finals, where they meet the, Golden State Warrior, that has been to the finals, multiple times, right? So yeah, so they beat at the Boston Celtic. Being at the Celtic is like very, very hard, right? So yeah, so 107 to 97, they win by 10 point again, and then the Celtic got, let's see, so no, that's like game 4, the Warrior won 107 to 97, not game 3. In game 3, the Celtic, beat the Warriors again. We know Warriors are definitely going to lose at least a game, at the TD Garden. So, and then game 5 was very crucial, Okay, so if there's a 2-2 side series, whoever win game 5, like, win the series automatic, like, almost guarantee. And then game 6, the Warriors, so the Celtic actually lost 3 games in a row because they were up 2-1, and then the Warriors just win the rest. The main reason why the Warrior won is because, their experience, right? The Celtic has never been to the finals ever since like 2010. So yeah, they supposed to make the final in 2020, but then the Heats were just way too much. And now, if the Celtic was just as much experience as the Warrior, they would have won. Because I know they have size and stuff, but the Golden State Warrior, they put like Kevin Looney, Steve Kerr put Kevin Looney in there, and also they have, they use their size, so it bothers the Celtic a little bit. The Boston Celtic has like too many turnovers, but then, they shoot a lot of threes, right? Yeah, too many turnovers, cost, them a game, and this is how Golden State, won. Golden State won based on experience. This is why, you see every single game they lose by at least 10 points. They didn't even get within double digit. Usually the games are very close. They only lose like a few points. But in the final, if some teams are beating you by like over 10 points, for every wins, that means that, yeah, it talks about, experience versus inexperience. And this is why, I won't be surprised, if they get blown out by like 20 points. Just because of their inexperience. I know game 1 though, it's kind of not surprising. Like game 1, the Celtic beat the Warriors, right? Kind of not surprising. See the Warriors make adjustment right away, and the Celtic just couldn't respond due to experience. That's the main reason why the Warriors won the championship. So the Warriors won a championship in like 4 in the last 8 years, 8 seasons, right? They won 2015, 2017, 2018, 2022. I knew the Warriors are a very dangerous team. Well, it's because of injuries and the Lakers on there. This is why the Warriors take championship. I mean, the question is, does the Warriors need Kevin Durant? That's my biggest question. The answer is maybe, maybe not. Well, if they face against an inexperienced team or a team that's just a little bit experienced in the final, then the Warriors can probably beat them. But if they face against the Lakers or LeBron James or Kawhi Leonard or any other team that has a real leadership, then the Warrior probably will not beat them. I know the Warrior cannot beat LeBron James because I remember LeBron James beat them in 2016, right? I remember that much. So, yeah, I remember that Golden State, has to get super stacked. They have to get Kevin Durant, in that Golden State team to make sure they win. They automatically win championship for the next 2 years. They tried 3-peat, but it failed because of high amounts of injury. It's just like the Toronto Raptors won 2019. But yeah, I knew the Celtic, are pretty much choker, and I want to send a message to the Lakers and the Warriors fan. I know the Lakers really hated the Laker fan, the Laker Nation really hated the Celtic because I know Celtics fans are extremely toxic. Some are like racist. That's why they call them toxic. They're racist. Some are, just casual. But a lot of Celtic fans, are just, they're pretty toxic too. That's why I overheard. I'm just not making it up. This is why I watch from the Lakers channel. So yeah, man. Why is this? I know that eliminating the Celtics in the final at their home is like very rare. And I don't know how many years has it been. I heard it's been a very long time. The Celtic does not get eliminated, in a Game 7 situation. Well, this is Game 6 because they're already down. They already lost 3 games already. So, yeah. Imagine, getting eliminated in front of your home crowd, you know. Like, boy, oh boy, like, yeah, now the fans are getting embarrassed, right? This is what you get for being toxic, you know. Karma will come back. I told you, don't trash talk, right? I know the Celtic team, I know that, you know, I say that the Celtic is just a young team, you know, but they're not toxic, but their fan base is toxic. I don't hate the Celtic, but some people do, you know. Some people. Let's be honest here. And now, you know, people want to put Steph. Now, you know, I put Steph Curry in the top 10, right? A lot of people already put top 10, even though he hasn't, you know, legitimately won a championship. I remember in 2015, you know, the Warriors won because the Cavaliers were injured. They didn't have Kyrie. Kyrie was out, and the Cavaliers were up 2-1 already. And I remember in 2016, you know, they choked to, you know, 3-1 lead, you know, to LeBron James. And 2017, 2018, you know, this is why a lot of people don't give, some people don't give flowers to Steph Curry. It's not being hair stuff. It's because the Steph Curry was on the super stack team, you know. This is why, you know, like, this is why I don't see that as a championship. I see it maybe half championship or like no championship. I don't know. A lot of people just don't respect it as much. And then, you know, now, you know, like, they didn't have Kevin Durant, but the thing is now, you know, the Golden State Warriors, you know, they're not super stacked. They don't have Kevin Durant. They only have like Andrew Wiggins and all that stuff. Clay's getting old, so they have like all those veterans, and this is how they won, just based off their experience, right? And people, a lot of people are saying that KD doesn't make difference, but you have to look at perspectively, man, of the Celtic. Well, let's say that if the Celtic gain more experience, and let's just say that if the Warrior, you know, suddenly had Kevin Durant back again, so I say the Warrior may have a chance to win, or it will not be surprising, you know, if the Celtic actually beat the Warriors with Kevin Durant, but that's going to be hard, you know. That's going to be hard to say because Warriors are also, you know, injury prone too. Injuries play a lot of factors, but just things unpredictable, right? So, yeah, I mean, the Celtic, you know, they could beat the Warrior too, you know. So I'm going to look at what the Celtics, you know, weaknesses. Okay, like, their strength is their size and their out-rebound, but yeah, because like I said, inexperience, you know, they make a lots of, you know, yeah, they have a lot of turnover. So yeah, see, they have like 23 turnover, you know, the last, you know, game. Let's see what they play game 5. I look at their, you know, statistic, but I did watch the game, but now I've like forgot. So let me look. Yeah, see, every single game, you know, the Warriors play, you know, real good defense. I think their defense is better than the Celtics, honestly. They have, you know, higher steals, higher turnover. That's where the experience. This is where the Warriors had, you know, stronger experience than the Boston Celtics when it comes to, you know, like defensive plays. You know, that's where the Celtics really bite the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors bite the Celtics. Right? But I think the Boston Celtics has, you know, a very bright future. I have to be honest about it. So, yeah, man. I'm just saying that, you know, small ball in the NBA, you know, will work against, you know, certain team, but not against, you know, the you know, team that has, you know, bigs and stuff. So, yeah. What does that mean if the Celtics didn't win this year's championship? That means they still tied with the Lakers. If they won this year's championship, they would have been, you know, ahead of the Lakers already. But I know the Lakers, you know, will come back and eventually, you know, beat the Celtics. I know the Celtics has the most championship in the NBA for the longest time. But the Lakers won the 2020, you know, championship, so tying up the, you know, the Boston Celtics. But I'm not a Warriors fan, but yeah, I used to be a Warriors fan. But for the Warriors, I have to pray for the Warriors, you know, just to win championship. So that way, you know, or Laker Nation has to pray for the Warrior, you know, to win a championship, just to prevent, you know, Boston from getting number 18 before them. So yeah, I know that the Boston has not won a championship, you know, since 2008. The Warriors has not won a championship since, you know, 2018, you know, when they last had Kevin Durant. But comment below, like, this is a very good discussion, you know, like, should do the Warriors need Kevin Durant or not? Well, the thing is, I'm not sure. Depending on what team they face, you know, in the finals, right? Because there could be a team with inexperience, it could team that has, you know, very crappy roster, and there could be teams, you know, that are really good. So it just really depends. So this is just a little off topic. Let's just say that if the Warriors face the Phoenix Suns in the finals, I know that it doesn't make sense, you know, to have West versus West. It's supposed to be West versus East. Let's say that this team is just as good as the Phoenix Suns, you know, in 2021, you know, where Phoenix Suns, you know, face every opponent injuries. And yeah, this is why, yeah, injuries been, you know, it's just part of sport. But with the ridiculous amount of injury, with, you know, team missing out, you know, their best player and stuff, and missing their leader, and this is why they couldn't get prevailed that round, and this is why, you know, a fully healthy team can beat, you know, an injured team. This is how, you know, you survive sport. Not only you need good player, good team management, and good coach, you need to, you know, stay healthy. If you don't have one of those, then you're just gonna struggle, or you could get eliminated very early, right? The Phoenix Suns, I mean, of last year, supposed to be a first-round exit team. That's to be very honest with you. This team was not very good. And they beat everybody in the West, you know, due to injuries. Now, if they face against this experienced Warrior team, let's say that the Warriors are not, let's say that the Suns or the Warriors are East and West, and they face against each other. I just put bet on the Warriors. The Warriors definitely gonna sweep this Phoenix Suns, you know, 4-0. It will not be surprising, you know, if they get blown out, right? If they face a team that was in the first round, that exit team. Now, if they face against, you know, the experienced team like the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Lakers with LeBron or Anthony Davis, or if the Lakers had, you know, another superstar, you know, Kyrie Irving, or whoever that is, man. Whoever good player that is, let's say that Westbrook is not a bum and stuff, and let's say that they have, you know, Darvin Ham as a coach, and the Lakers would have a legitimate chance, you know, knocking out the Warriors. And the same thing, man, with, you know, 2018, you know, conference final. Whoever wins that conference final will definitely win the championship. You know, I didn't make a prediction. I never made a video, but I don't talk, yeah, too much in the past, but this is an example. The Houston Rockets of 2018 could have beat the Golden State Warrior, but they failed because James Harden is a choker. But now, you know, James Harden is, you know, pretty much useless at this point. So yeah, it just depends, you know, on who you face. Depends. If a team is not very experienced, and if they just won based off injuries, then Golden State probably don't need Kevin Durant. But no matter what, they need Stephen Curry. If they don't have Stephen Curry, they're not winning, period. Or they need Klay Thompson, you know, to step it up. Klay has been missing a lot of shots lately too. So they have Andrew Wiggins, you know. They have the pool party. People, you know, gave him funny name, you know, Jordan Poole, the pool party, right? And stuff, right? So yeah, man. But hopefully, you know, next year, you know, things go well, you know. Next year is going to be interesting. Now we already, you know, in free agency and stuff, and now we have summer league. I'm just behind all the schedule, but yeah. Looking forward, but I have to end this video here. I got nothing else much to say. Warriors are probably, I don't know how many championships they won, but good for them. They better, this is probably, let me make this video. I want to say one quick comment about the Golden State Warriors. This is probably their last championship. And I won't be surprised because now the West are getting tougher and tougher and tougher, right? Just like the Milwaukee Bucks, right? If you see a championship, if you have, you know, good roster, like just go for it. You have to go for a championship or else, you know, you lose your opportunity because every year is going to be different, you know. Teams are going to get better a lot. There's going to be a team that's going to shock you, you know, that never supposed to be there in the first place. A lot of things are going to change, and now, you know, players are getting older, and they're a lot more prone to injury, and they're getting weaker. And at some point, some player may even get traded and all stuff. So a lot of factors can change in, so it's very hard to predict the futures. This is why, you know, the NBA is exciting. We're supposed not to know the future, we supposed not be spoiled, no future. If we know who wins championship next year, then we'll be excited. But if we don't know who's gonna win next year, then it will be very exciting. That's just, everybody will agree with me with that, right? Yes, everybody will have to agree. See, so I didn't expect the Warrior to be, winning championship, right? Just based on ESPN, don't trust ESPN, don't take them too seriously because they're also wrong too. Remember they picked the Clipper to win the 2020 championship, but I know the Clippers are too fraud to win a championship. They even picked the Celtic over the Warriors, Celtic has zero experience. I say that, experience is the number one reason why, teams, win, Teams are more successful than the other one that doesn't have experience. The Celtics just didn't know what to do. The pressure was different, and they could not answer at all. So, yeah, if the Celtics, let's say if they happen to have a veteran that been to the finals, then I say at least one superstar, that would be a big difference already. The Celtics would have a chance of beating the Warriors, and yes, so I have to end off video here, and bye-bye.